Hey guys, it's Ms. West Social Studies class. We're going to be talking about the Great Depression super fast. We did not do these notes in class. We did those 2 simulations. But in case you forgot or you weren't here that day, here's some notes for you to study before the test. So the Great Depression, our unit starts out with the stock market. After World War I, the 1920s are roaring. Everybody's investing their money in the stock market. People are spending money like crazy. Remember that little song we sang? Make a buck, spend it, make a buck, buy, 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 buy. Go home, sing it to your mom until she's so annoyed. So people are spending money like crazy, and then they all pull their money out of the stock market at the same time. They start to see like a dip in stocks, and it makes them nervous, so they take their money out. This causes the stock market to crash. We call it Black Tuesday, October 29th, 1929. $30 billion vanished into thin air. Here you can see the New York Stock Exchange. When the market crashes, banks have to close. So the banks had invested a lot of people's money into the stock market, and now the banks lost all that money. People, of course, then run to the bank in order to get their money. They get there, they withdraw all their cash, and eventually the banks run out of money, and if you didn't get your money, you lost it. It was a very sad thing. Here's a picture of the police standing outside the bank where there is no money. So now I've got people that are out of jobs. Why? Because if people don't have money, they can't buy stuff. And if people aren't buying things, then factories and businesses are going to start shutting down or laying off their workers. So now we've got high unemployment, and here you can see a picture of a bunch of men pleading for jobs. On top of that, World War I vets were promised a bonus at the end of the war that they were going to get in the 40s. So they all went to Washington to see if they could get their money early. We call it the Putnam Bill. They waited outside to see if the bill would pass so that they could get $1,000 to, help feed their starving families. Well, the Putnam Bill was put down, and then on top of it, President Hoover sent out an army to get rid of the protesters. They gassed them. A lot of people were hurt. An 11-month-old baby died. It was horrible. And then they even burned down their Hooverville. It was insane. Our American government essentially attacked our World War I veterans. So a lot of people start moving out west. They're going to try to get to California. Well, on the way in the Great Plains region, some dust storms kick up. This is because of an overproduction of crops. There wasn't enough grass to hold down the dirt. So we get major drought, major dust storms. People are hopeless. They don't know what to do. Well, then President Hoover, he's done. They do not elect him again. And President Franklin D. Roosevelt takes over, and he's offering them a new deal. Basically, he creates programs that are going to help these people, public works, to give them jobs, doing different things, to lessen the problems of the Depression, to make life a little bit easier. Doesn't get us out of the Great Depression. World War II does that, but it does help the suffering. Here are some of his programs. The FDIC, you might see a sticker on your bank that ensures that your money at the bank can't just disappear. The CWA, some jobs, some construction work with the Civilian Conservation Corporation or Corps. The SEC, Securities and Exchange Commission, and the Social Security Act. So we called it alphabet soup because it was all these different programs that had all these different letters that it stood for. People all over Europe are in a Great Depression because when you just think of imports and exports, if one country's in a depression, it's going to affect other countries. But after World War I, all of the countries, France, Great Britain, Germany, they're all in a depression. And a lot of people, especially in Europe, believe that communism would help pull them out of poverty. Capitalism wasn't working for them, so they're going to start thinking maybe communism or socialism is a better way to go. This is where totalitarian governments start coming out. People are willing to give up some of their freedoms in order to elect a leader that promises them a better life. So totalitarian government has complete control over everything, public and private things that go on with the country. Now, Germany at the time is just in dire straits. There's super high inflation. The whole wheelbarrow full of money wouldn't even buy you a loaf of bread. You might as well burn your money for warmth. So Germany is going to turn toward this guy, and they're going to end up electing Adolf Hitler into power. So he is the leader of the Socialist Workers' Party. He makes a lot of promises, and that's where we're going to start with our unit on World War II. All right, that's it for the Great Depression. Have a great day.